everybody. So you might want to go get a drink, go to the bathroom, get a snack. You're not. This is a real. If there was one game that needed a rambly, incoherent, edible napalm D&D recap, this was the fucking game. So, Ensavier started up a new game last night, and he got drunk, and mistakes were made. A lot of mistakes, and you know what? Let me just get into the story first. Let me light a cigarette, because seriously, sit the fuck down. You kill the dog, throw the baby out the window, burn your phones. You'll want to hear this. Sorry, I had a burp, and that distracted me from lighting my cigarette. Okay, where to fucking start? Okay, I guess with the principal players in this drama, this or comedy. It's more of a fucking. It's a dramedy, really. It's a drama for me, but a comedy for you guys. So basically, we have Nick. Ensavier, he is the dungeon master. He is the grand poobah of events, and he didn't have much prepared last night. So, and also, like I said, he was drunk. So he was like, "Fuck it, let's wing it. Let's just wing it. Let's just go by the seat of our pants." I feel bad for Ensavier. Ensavier is in the same category as a DM as CJ is for me, where it's like I feel really bad for him, but I can't stop playing Dungeons and Dragons the way I play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I'm sorry. I semi-ruin campaigns. I will say that. I don't full-on ruin campaigns. I don't make campaigns unplayable, but I always do really weird fucking shit. And on top of that, we have other players in this game who also do really incoherent weird shit. Which brings us to the next person, the Lamia lover himself, the Kingsfield lorist, the bane of my fucking existence, Skullholder, who is playing a halfling paladin of freedom, which is a 3rd edition variant of Paladin, which it's basically chaotic good Paladin. That's what it is. It's basically you take Paladin, you switch over all the stuff that revolves law to chaos, boom, you got Paladin of freedom. So he is a Paladin of freedom. I've dusted off an old deer chestnut, and anybody who is familiar with the D&D recap series will remember this name, Dobu. Good old Dobu Goldhand, the land pirate, the mercenary, legitimate business owner. Like, whatever roles he needs to play, he will fill them. And in this universe, he's a weird little shaved dwarf. It's a long story there. But, so, like, Dwarf Rogue, who specializes in using improvised weapons. And I walk around with a fence post, a cold iron chain, and an adamantium grapefruit spoon. Which there's going to be a big, huge story behind that, but I haven't thought up the fucking, like, I'm thinking, like, I used it to dig my way out of prison or something. Also, you might be like, why a grapefruit spoon? Because I didn't have any, like, slashing weapons, and I was like, I don't want to have just a knife. That would be boring. So what else could I have? Oh, grapefruit spoons. They have, like, the little scrapey bit on them. And you might be like, why didn't you just go with sporks? Sporks are fucking overrated. They're overrated in comedy, and they're overrated as an instrument in which you eat things with. Sporks fucking suck. So we have me. Also, I should note, because this is a really weird plot point in this universe, but go watch mine and Ensavier's and the one I guest star on his playthrough of Nico Para, because that again, that's why fucking Skull is the bane of my existence. Fucking both in game and out of game. Fucking he just tortures me like a fucking demon of torment. It's like fucking goddamn Angus, but instead of it just being Saturday, it's every fucking waking moment of my life. Ugh. So anyways, so Nico Para plays a huge plot point in this campaign world because we are in a world where there are cat girls, and just like in Nico Para, they're not humans, they're considered property, even though they are humanoids and they have intelligence and all that such. So basically, Dobu, I should mention this, he is neutral evil. Neutral evil, paladin of freedom, chaotic good. You might see where the cracks are starting to form in this fucking in this. You might start seeing that shit. So we also have Lundy, who is playing a I think he's a half orc. I think he's a half orc barbarian, or maybe Sammy's the half orc. Somebody's a half orc. I can't remember who. I don't see race in D&D. I just see I see it in terms of class. I'm a D&D classist, and Lundy's class is barbarian. He is specifically going for like all the rage powers that give him natural attacks. So he's got like horns and claws and shit. So he can do a lot of cool shit. So we got Jokar, and we have finally Sammy G as Jaeger, the barbarian. No, he's not barbarian. He is a ranger. He's a throwing ranger. So he uses like throwing axes. So he's fucking like that Russian dude who taught Samurai Jack how to throw things, which we never saw again in the final episode of Samurai Jack. I wonder what happened to that Russian guy. I wonder if that Russian guy in Samurai Jack had like the same kind of sad backstory that Ivan Drago had, where it's like Ivan Drago went back to the Soviet Union and drunk himself to death. The end. I'm getting off on a tangent. So there's our principal players, and you might have noticed I didn't describe Lundy and Sammy's characters. Well, sadly, they because they're more combat oriented characters, they did not see a lot of stuff this go around, because mainly it became right off the bat, like anybody who's ever played D&D with a fucking party that had an evil character in it and had a paladin in it, it immediately went to fucking shit. So Dobu is a legitimate businessman. He runs a legitimate business of renting out cat girls as temporary workers to paying clientele. There's no slavery here. They get their own, like, they can leave whenever they want. They just have to sleep in cages in the back of my warehouse. Like, that's, you can't be sleeping in the streets. You can't just be milling about willy fucking nilly. So Dobu, legitimate businessman, starts getting fucking hassled by this fucking conniving, lying fucking paladin. Like, what kind of paladin fucking lies? I'll tell you, a fucking paladin of freedom. You think being in a party with a lawful good paladin is bad? Try being in a party with a chaotic good one. They can actually fucking use loopholes fucking against you. So Skull comes in because he's a paladin of freedom. There's like cat girl slavery going on. He doesn't like that shit. It fucking follows. So for whatever fucking reason, he chooses to hassle me and my fucking business. So he comes in there and he just starts lying his fucking ass off about why he's here. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking deal with you. Like, I'm running a fucking legitimate business here with people who are considered fucking property. Like, I can be discerning in who I have as clientele, because I don't know if fucking Skull is gonna be using these cat girls for fucking slavery and shit. Like, I'm a legitimate businessman. And this fucker Skull, he's just lying. I don't know if he is a paladin, if he killed a paladin. I don't want anything to do with this. So I tell him to fucking leave, and he leaves. Guess what this motherfucker does? Guess what this motherfucker does? He files a fucking lawsuit against me for religious discrimination. So now it's fucking on. So me and Skull are rushing to get to lawyers. So Skull beats me to get into the good lawyer, Connie Jockrin, and then fucking, so I have to go to the law firm of Ornstein and Smoke because they're the next fucking goddamn best one. And yes, that Ornstein and Smoke. Just picture Ornstein and Smoke with their helmets on, wearing business suits. That's who my fucking lawyers were. And yeah, it went as fucking well as you goddamn think it did. Like when we were trying to fucking hammer out a settlement, like fucking Johnny Cochran is just dumping fucking papers on the fucking table, just making up fucking shit, and goddamn Ornstein and Smoke are just standing there saying fucking nothing. Like Dobu is just like, why did I hire the mutes? Why did I hire the mutes? This is just, it was a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare. Like, and then on top of it, this motherfucker Skull hires a private investigator. So while I'm trying to fucking dump my stock of cat girls in the middle of the night, you know, just chasing them out of there, being like, shoot, get. We have to fucking deal with this. And this is the main time that Lundy and Sammy get played, because Lundy, because he's a barbarian, he's really fast, so he ends up chasing down the guy, like gets glass thrown into his poor eyes, and then he breaks that guy's leg, and then he drags him back to the warehouse, and Jaeger just fucking beats him. And like, I get the information that he's hired by the paladin, so we just beat him into unconsciousness, and then we, you know, go down to the old eel farm and, you know, dump the body. Bingo, bango, fucking done. So Dobu's already a murderer. To be fair, we're all level 8, so I'm willing to fucking bet. I'm willing to bet Dobu's probably already murdered some people a couple of times, so, you know, that's happened, probably. So the day of the trial gets here. So again, Johnny Cochran it's a fucking goddamn travesty of fucking goddamn justice that happened. Like, how did the evil character get screwed in the legal system? I am supposed to be using the fucking legal system to screw the good person. How, like, that is how broken the legal system is in this fucking country. Like, Dobu's gonna become a politician now because of this. Like, he's gonna campaign on a hard platform of legal reform, because the fucking, this place is, I can't remember the name of the town. I can remember the name of the state and the city because we decided to name it the state of Georgia and the country of Georgia, because fucking the trial went about as well as that fucking goddamn, like, that Rick Sanchez fucking Rick and Morty fucking, like, little bit where they redid the fucking, it's just a travesty. Fucking, like, Johnny Cochran, like, Joni Cochran is just up there making up fucking shit constantly, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What? I didn't even do that. Like, what? How? And fucking Ornstein and Smoke just fucking sitting there doing nothing. And guess what those motherfuckers do when it's their time to get up there for my fucking defense? Fucking Smoke smashes fucking Ornstein with a big hammer, grows fucking giant, and then the bailiffs come in fucking holding gnomes, and they fucking zap him. That was my legal defense. How is this not a mistrial? This is the greatest fucking travesty of justice ever fucking committed in a Dungeons and Dragons game. So Dobu is left to fucking defend himself. So yeah, that went about as fucking well as you could imagine, because I'm going to let you in a little secret of Dobu. I gave him none of the social stat. I gave him none of the social skills, because he's a dwarf. Like, why would he have them? The only thing I gave him was sense motive. So, like, that's the thing. That's like why, like, Hamfast and fucking, because the Hamfast is Skull's paladin, his halfling paladin. Hamfast is the perfect foal for Dobu, because not only is he fucking goddamn like a paladin and Dobu's evil, but Dobu is evil and honest, while fucking Hamfast is good and dishonest. So just on every fucking level, Dobu fucking goddamn hates Hamfast every fucking fiber of his being. So yeah, it just evolves into me yelling at the fucking judge, calling him a fucking cocksucker. Fucking just it did not go well. So yeah, I lost the fucking court case, and during the sentencing, I keep fucking hammering at the judge, and he fucking gives me the worst possible fucking goddamn sentence imaginable in my case. Community service overseen by Hamfast the Halfling Paladin. So at this point, Dobu just fucking loses it and just starts screaming, "Kangaroo court, I like little boys. Kangaroo court, I like boys. Kangaroo court, I like boys." Just like the Rick and Sam, just like the fucking, just like that thing. Just like the one from the Rick and Morty clip. It was a fucking disgrace. And so yeah, I ended up getting thrown in jail. So that happened. Also too, I ended up punching a butcher somewhere in there because like a butcher was out on the street being like, "Fresh ham," and like that was after the fucking failed settlement talks. Like I was going home and there was a butcher, and so you know I was being sued by a butcher now too. So that's great. That one probably ended up getting settled out of court. So yeah, so that's basically where the game ended. So now Dobu and his entire workforce, which is Lundy and Sammy, because they are ostensibly my muscle, because you know, as a legitimate businessman, sometimes people want to burn down my business or kill me, like, you know, or put a dead horse head in my bed. Like shit happens, you know. So yeah, like that's where this game ends for now. But like, oh boy, I can't wait until next Sunday to see how this is all going to be fixed, or is just madness just going to continue to spiral on and on. Also, I didn't even mention the part about like Tiger, like the Tiger Midget Chicken Trinity. Like there's a holy trinity of Tiger Chicken Midget. I should like, you know, I'll explain that in a later video. Like, how is it that a fucking good character used the legal system to fuck over the evil character? That is just bullshit. Bye bye.